Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time, where we will sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. Hey, I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
Today we're going to jump right in, and we are going to be reviewing Holiday Touchdown, A Bill's Love Story. It originally aired on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, November 22nd, 2025. And you can find it right now streaming on Hallmark Plus.
Hallmark Plus. 'Cause it's a
Shout out. Oh boy. Okay.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I figured out a gift that people can give this year.
Okay. I'm listening.
It's a link to our podcast, Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time. What do you think?
And it's free. I think it's free.
See?
It's a free gift you can give to people. There you go. That's a great idea.
And give. See, and all you have to do is click the like button. You can share it. You can hit the, what's the other button that they hit? The follow button. So you get notified whenever we drop new material.
There you go.
See?
That's a great idea.
I know. I have.
We're here to help. We're here to help, right?
Yes, we are.
Your holiday shopping.
To bring joy to your Christmas season. How about that?
Or you can also send us an email to pourthewinei'sromcomtime@gmail.com and let us know your thoughts about Holiday Touchdown, A Bill's Love Story, or anything Countdown to Christmas related. Mm-hmm. We are in the thick of it right now.
We sure are.
It is hot. It is happening. Or anything Hallmark related, really. We would love to hear from you.
Yes, we would.
Yes.
Don't be shy out there.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
We do not bite. So you want to tell us who's in this one?
I will gladly tell you who was in this one. Holland Roden plays Morgan Quinn. Holland was in last year's Holidays, which is so cute, right?
Yes, it was.
5 Gold Rings and Tipline Mysteries, Dial 1 for Murder. She was also in 2022's Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas. Matthew Daddario plays Gabe DeLuca. This is his Hallmark premiere, and boy, did I really enjoy him in this. I mean, we already love Holland, but he was really good. Spoiler alert. He does have several other acting credits, including all 10 episodes of season 2 of Why Women Kill.
Ooh.
We loved that series. I think there are only 2 seasons,
Why do they kill?
Well, lots of different reasons. You have to watch the series to find out.
Right.
He was also in 55 episodes of Freeform's Shadowhunters, which we have not watched yet.
Right.
Joe Pantoliano is Uncle Tommy Rossi. I was not expecting him in this movie. We had no idea. Did you have any idea?
No, I did not.
I
really enjoyed his character.
I know. Even if you don't know his name, between movies and TV series, you've seen him in something because this man has worked consistently since the 1970s.
Yes.
For Hallmark, he was in The Santa Stakeout. We know and love him, of course, from The Sopranos, where he played Ralph Cifaretto. Yes. Some of the other cast in Holiday Touchdown, A Bill's Love Story are Caroline Aaron. She plays Ricky DeLuca. She is Gabe's mom. Mm-hmm. She was Fab on Ghosts, right? Yes. We loved her on Ghosts, and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. We loved her in that. And a little trivia here, she was the voice of Dr. Marcia Fieldstone in the classic Sleepless in Seattle.
Ooh.
Oh, pretty cool, huh? We love that one. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Steve Schirripa, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, plays Gabe's dad. He is, of course, of Sopranos fame, and we did just see him in Sisterhood, Inc.
Yeah, another good one.
Patty Murin plays Kathy. That's Morgan's sister. Patrick Mulvey plays Jeremy, Kathy's husband / Morgan's brother-in-law. Tracy Pollan, I wasn't expecting to see her either. She is married to the one and only Michael J. Fox, but it was so great to see her. She plays Joanne, Morgan's mom. Abraham Ben-Ruby returns as Santa Claus, which he was in Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story, which we will also get to at some point, I'm sure, during this review. And I, of course, have been a fan of his since his ER days.
Yeah.
Andrew Walker pops up with a guest appearance as the bartender. I did know he was going to have a guest appearance in this, but what I did not know was that we were going to see Tyler Hynes and Hunter King briefly reprise their roles as Derek and Alana from Holiday Touchdown, A Cheese Love Story. Had no idea they were
That's
going to show
fabulous,
up,
though.
which was super cool to have the Santa and them. Then, of course, we have appearances by Bill's current and former players and the
Yes.
current coach. And I probably knew like 3 out of everyone that we saw.
Don't
We
worry.
love football,
I'm
but
the
I do
same
not
way.
know. I do not know Bill's players that well now. Of
Mm-mm.
course, Damar Hamlin, we know
Jim
because of
Kelly.
what happened to him on the field. And thankfully, he's okay now. And Jim Kelly, that 90s,
Yeah.
right? Wasn't he the 90s quarterback?
Yeah.
Right.
Them
It was
darn Cowboys, I tell you.
your team. Yeah. They had, did they meet each other all 3 times?
No.
Because the
no.
Bills made it to the Super Bowl 3 times, right?
No,
In
it
the
was like
90s?
5 times, I think it
Oh,
was.
like 5 times. Okay. Yeah. And they lost.
Crazy. They were really,
Didn't
really
they
good,
lose
but
like
couldn't
every
win.
single time?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But
They
we're not
sure
going to
did.
dwell on that. Sorry. I
Nope.
didn't mean to bring up a bad Scott Norwood, Dwayne Carter, Sean McDermott, of course, the coach,
Mhm.
Dawson Cox. There were probably other people that we don't know. And I apologize if I missed some players,
That's okay.
coaches,
Yeah. It's
and
good.
whatnot. Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
So is that it for the list?
That's it for my list. How about you?
All right. So Holiday Touchdown, a Bills love story, was directed by Dustin Reichert. Dustin has
Aw.
directed several Hallmark films. A few include A Newport Christmas. Loved it. The
Which we
Christmas
loved.
Quest. Loved it.
Loved it.
And this one, especially, A Merry Scottish Christmas.
Oh, yes.
My
Yes.
peoples.
I liked a little
And
Merry
next
Scottish
stop,
Christmas.
Christmas. Woohoo.
Oh, that was so good too. We
I
loved
know,
that
wasn't
also.
it? All of those were really
And
good.
I wonder if he did Where Are You Christmas? Because we just watched that one also,
Yeah.
I think.
We'll have to look it
Anywho,
up.
we'll have to look that up.
The writers for this particular movie were Vanessa Morano and Danielle Morrow. This is both
Mhm.
Vanessa and Danielle's first writing credit, and good for them for being Hallmark.
What a good job they did,
They
right?
did an
They
excellent job.
They really did. They did a great job.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So you want to drop that synopsis now?
Okay, so here's the thing about the synopsis. We get our information from IMDb, usually, right?
Yes, we
And
do.
what's odd about this one is the synopsis and the summary on IMDb was long,
Oh, wow.
like really long. So what I'm about to say is an unofficial shortened synopsis, right? So longtime neighbors and diehard Bills fans, the Quinns and DeLuca share decades of football-fueled holiday traditions. When Morgan sets out to find the mysterious gift giver who's helped her Uncle Tommy for years, she teams up with her best friend, Gabe. I don't know if he's her best friend, but who's quietly loved her all along. Romance builds, secrets unravel, and a game-winning Christmas surprise brings both families together.
Yes.
So there you go. Yeah, that's the first time I haven't been able to get. Sometimes they're too short,
Right.
but this one was
It's like a sentence
really
long.
long. Yeah.
Maybe a couple words. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This one was pretty long.
Pretty good.
But hey, it had a lot of people in it and it was really good. So at this point, we're going to tell you, if you have not seen the movie, we are going to drop some spoilers. So stop the podcast, go watch the movie, or watch the movie, then listen to our podcast, go watch the movie, whatever you want to do.
Whichever way.
And then come back and let us know what you think.
But we will give away some spoilers.
Yes, we will.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive into this.
Let's dive into it. What was your first take? What'd you think?
I surprisingly liked this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was going to, only because
I know.
I thought it was going to be quirky.
Same.
The same old, but I just love the traditions that the families had, the community's traditions, the tailgating, all center around the Bills. The nostalgia of the old field and the new field, and can you imagine? Because one of their traditions was 30 years in the making or the running, where they took a family picture at the park. I mean, how cool is that? And the emotions that you would have when the new stadium is built, and how Gabe's dad worked on building that particular stadium, that the old one that they were in.
I thought it was his grandpa.
Or
No?
maybe it was his grandpa. Maybe
Oh,
maybe you're
okay.
right. It was either his
Okay.
dad's grandpa.
Yeah, I
But
thought it was his grandpa.
I just loved
I
it.
could be wrong.
I just loved it. What'd you think?
Yeah, I like you. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. And we love Holland Roden. Like I said, I didn't really know too much about Matthew Daddario.
Mhm.
And I didn't know a lot of the other people who were going to be in it. So
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure, and to be fair and totally honest here, we had not seen Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story.
No,
We had
didn't.
not watched that, but we sure did after we watched this because we
Yes.
liked this one so much and there were a lot of references, right? So I was really pleasantly surprised at how much I just truly enjoyed it. And
Yeah. Crazy.
I'm like my mind works in entertainment references, right? So as we were watching it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's just like this, or that's just like that. Not that they were imitating other movies, but it was just really, it was so good. And
Yes,
it was so much better than I thought. It wasn't like I thought it was going to be terrible.
right.
I just was kind of like, oh, am I going to like it? And we love football.
Yeah.
I mean, and of course it wasn't about football, the game, but
Right.
so much as
it's more of the tradition.
Tradition, right? About going to the game and games and all of that. So, I really enjoyed it. And, it was so cool to see, Joey Pantoliano in it and Tracy Pollan. I thought that was great.
Mhm.
So I was really pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then you had, because you kind of had a couple of things going on. You had the stadium being built.
Right, which is true, by the way, right? That's a true, because I had to look that up because I was like, are the Bills getting a new stadium? Is that true?
So that was
And
cool.
yep, Highmark Stadium, yeah.
Yeah. And then you had the little side story of Tommy always receiving, or Uncle Tom or Unc Tom.
She says at one point.
As Morgan called him. Somebody always sent him a gift during Christmas. And how long was that going on for? Like 50 years or something.
Long
like
time.
That. So you had that story. So I thought it was, with all that stuff going on,
well,
it was
I think
woven together.
Yeah. And part of that was the military reference, right? Because he served in, I can't remember, it wouldn't have been.
Did he say
Vietnam, right? I'm not sure. Maybe.
Yeah.
But so while he was serving, someone started sending his mom, right? Like help
groceries
and groceries and
money.
Things and leaving it on the doorstep. And that's kind of where it started. So you have the military aspect, and we live in a military town.
Yeah, we do.
We really do. And, and you have your whole life, and I have for a better part of 20 years now. And so it's, we have connection to that.
Yeah.
We understand that, and family members and, things like that. So, there were just so many different layers of the story. And then of course you have the rom part of the rom-com, you have the romance kind of budding, and the way they did weave that together, the actual story of Gabe and Morgan. And it was just really well done.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
All right, let's get into our favorite.
Let's get into it.
Do you want to start it? Or you want me to start?
Sure. I can start. So one of my favorite scenes is when we see Gabe meets up with his friends, and I think, I don't know if they've been friends forever, but he meets up with, like a handful of friends and not Morgan. And he's kind of talking to them, and they basically tell him that they know he's been in love with Morgan forever. And his reaction is kind of like, what? What do you mean? And they're like, and they make some reference, like they say something like, how you almost always, how the Bills almost always almost win.
Right.
And they said, we've seen you almost always almost tell Morgan how you feel. And he never, and he hasn't quite done it yet. And he is like so surprised that they know, but it's clearly obvious to everyone. And we'll talk about that again a little bit later. But so that would be one of my favorite scenes where and that was towards the beginning. So you instantly know that, he's carried this, flame for her, because they grew up together, they were neighbors and whatnot. And so he's carried this, you find out right away, and he's got these 3 friends and they know it right away. And his reaction was so cute. I thought he's kind of like, what? Yeah. What do you mean? How do you know that? So I thought it was cute.
Yeah. And it was kind of,
what about you?
It was kind of interesting because they had mentioned 4 in Four Downs, that throughout the movie, he had that conversation, and people are like, yeah, he really loves her. He's just too scared to say anything.
Yes.
But I think it was Susan and them that had mentioned that. Maybe it was somebody else, but I just thought that was interesting. But one of mine was almost right off the bat when she had that date in the bar.
Right at the beginning. Yes, right at the beginning.
Like, right? So you could tell she's a fan, right? Because this guy, and I didn't really care for that character because I thought he was all about himself and kind of goofy. But she was sitting there, and every time he asked a question and she answered it, and it was kind of like the right answer, but it was the the game that she was actually talking about.
Right. Oh, right. Because she's like, no, yeah.
Yes. Yay. And I just thought that was a funny scene for an opening. So,
well, and she kind of, he says something like, oh, I'm not really a football fan. And she's like, I know, because you chose tonight as a date. Right. And then the game was on, right. You chose. So they're at a bar watching the game. Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah.
So you right out of the gate see how much she's into football.
Yeah.
Right. Like, right away. And she's in the bar, and I love how they're cheering and high-fiving. And
she says something like, everybody eats.
Everybody eats. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's.
And that's where you see Andrew Walker too for the first time.
Yep.
As the bartender. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what was another one for you?
I guess I was looking over my favorite scenes, and I'm like, a lot of them revolve around Gabe. Not that I don't love Morgan also, but just,
who likes Morgan?
When he runs into Santa, and, he's had a few encounters where, he tries to tell Morgan how he feels, and then something happens. Right. And that happens throughout the whole movie, which is really cute. He runs into Santa, and, he's like, it's never going to happen. And he wants to talk to Santa about it, but he doesn't let Santa speak. Right. So he's like, it's never going to happen. And what am I doing? And Santa tries to interject, and he's like, yeah, but can you, that was, can you, So I just thought that was really, really cute. And then, I adored that scene. And then I think, go ahead.
And I was just going to say that, and Santa is another character that they brought over from, the Chief's
a Chief's love story. Yeah.
Holiday Touchdown, a Chief's love story. Yeah, that was a really good scene. I like that one too. Because you could just see on his face, he was just like, Santa was trying to answer, but he wouldn't let him answer. So he kind of, Gabe in that moment kind of talks himself through it himself. Like, he doesn't get feedback. He just sort of talks through it. So I thought that was really cute. And then, Santa does tell Gabe, you should tell her how you feel. And Gabe's like, wait, what? Is it that obvious? Everybody but him.
Oh no, maybe that's a different scene. I'm sorry, that's a different scene.
Everybody but him.
That's not. That was at the craft.
Yes, the craft.
That's not when he's talking to Santa. That's at the CCT, the craft day at the hospital.
Right.
And all the players are like, even we can see it. Like a blind man can see it.
It's so funny. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it was cute. Yeah.
But, and another one of mine is the whole man cave scene with Susan.
Yes.
Who's played by Maria Braun. I mean, she played that part so well. And she was part of the three-person crew. And I don't remember the two guys' names offhand, but that garage setup that she had with all the Bills memorabilia and the big screen TV. And they were kind of scared when they first went over there. And the whole
point is like the Bills Mafia, right?
The Bills Mafia, and the music that was playing, it went well with that scene.
Yes, and I agree.
They actually went over there because they were trying to find the person who was sending the gifts, and they went over there to talk to Susan because she's really good at social media. So.
Right. Stalking, right.
It's like right off the bat, she finds out that, here's an address of somebody. And well, how do you know? And then she pulls up the pictures and was like, well, here are the pictures, right? So that was another one of my favorite scenes.
Definitely. I had that also as one of my favorites, just because, like you said, it's sort of like, it's like a Goodfellas scene, or maybe Sopranos, where she's like, what do you
those
want?
Plastic shovels. And she's like, Morgan's like,
the other two
what
friends,
are you gonna do with those?
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. And then she says something about social media, like social media stalking isn't art. And then she which is true. There are some people who, and we have some kids who are really good at tracking things down,
Two of them really, really well.
But it was just, that was really just a cute play on the whole mafia part of the Bills Mafia.
Yep.
I thought that was really, I totally agree. Totally awesome. Agree.
So what's another one of yours?
Another one of mine would be, I have a couple, but the big one where Gabe finally goes off and tells Morgan, how he feels, and he goes over everything that he loves about her, and it's so reminiscent of when Harry met Sally.
Yeah,
it just reminded me of that. And he's like, I love that you're loud. I love that you jump on tables when your team scores. I love that you're funny. And he just goes, you're self-deprecating, and he goes on this long rant about everything. And he says he was thinking about tonight and Mia turns out she was the one who was in love with Uncle Tommy, right? For all those years, but never said anything. And he's like, basically, he doesn't want to end up like that. Like, he doesn't want to go his lifetime and not tell her how he feels. And that's pretty much what Harry, tells Sally at the very end of when Harry met Sally. He's like, I love it that you get cold when it's 71 degrees. I love that it takes you an hour to order food, and then he's like, when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. Yep. I mean, that's one of the most famous quotes from when Harry met Sally. And the way Matthew delivered that, it was so good. And I also loved Holland in that scene because she's taking it in, but it's also shocking to her.
Right.
And her reaction was great.
Yeah.
And, she doesn't just jump into his arms. She's kind of absorbing it and taking it in. And what does she say? Something like, I think I'm going to walk home, or something now. And she just needs a minute, So, I loved that scene.
That was a good scene. But
yes,
there was something that I noticed in that scene is when they were walking and they turned to each other, it looked like she kind of stepped up on something.
Yes, you did notice that. Yes.
Because she's, I don't know how tall she is, but he seems to be pretty tall. But when they turned, she kind of stepped up on something.
You see the deliberate step. For sure. And it's not like she's just stepping up off of, onto the curb. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like that. I mean, it is a deliberate, you did notice that. So that would be one little thing. And then the last favorite scene for me, of course, is the end, the football game where, Tommy gets to go on the field and recognize that Mia, it was somebody he was dating before he went off to war.
Right.
And, he leaves. And then when he comes back, he doesn't really want to pursue her. And in the meantime, she has been gifting his family, helping his family out. And she continued to do it every Christmas. Mm-hmm. And then you find out that she was scared to tell him, right, how she really feels. She felt like it had been too long. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to say anything. And so at the very end, they end up on the football field and he has his military uniform on or some.
No, he comes.
No,
I think he's just in a jacket,
and that, So he not uniform, I guess, but. Right. But he honors her in that moment. And I thought that was really sweet. We were kind of tearing up. I mean, it was just really, please, it was really sweet because it was about honoring military also. Yeah. And then he was like, basically those who serve, we honor, but you serve the ones who are at home taking care of everything,
right.
So I thought that was really, right. That was cool. And did you have any other favorite ones or?
Real quick on yours. And that was when he left for the military, it was because he got drafted, and that.
Right. So it had to be Vietnam then. Yeah. And had to be Vietnam.
And that's where his mom, she had to live off of that particular money, that salary. But I guess my last one was when Uncle Tommy actually told the story to Gabe and Morgan about, why he was getting the gifts or how long had been getting them. It was like 54 or 55 years.
Are you talking about the box or no?
Box,
just the story,
right. Well,
and
because they wanted to see, they were shocked that he still had the gifts, and he's like, I kept them, but I put them in a box, and he was bringing them out and just talking about them, and I thought that was a really that was another one where I was kind of tearing up a little bit. So
no, it was so great, and he's so good. He's
good at telling us.
I mean, gosh, yes, he's so good. Such a good actor, that Joe. Yeah. Right. It was a great scene. And, and of course my mind, like I said earlier, works in the entertainment world. So I'm thinking so one of the things in the box has like a tag on it, right? And it's a famous store in Buffalo, Vidler's, right? Vidler's, like right? And that is an actual store, which also I love that they used traditional Buffalo, which, I just thought that was great. The what was the caroling? The I can't remember. Carolcade. They called it Carolcade. Yeah. And that's a real thing. Where they go up and down the street, right? Yeah. And that's a real thing that happens there. I mean, how cool is that? It's really good. I thought that was really cool. So
yeah. So you have any more?
I was saying, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. My mind works in, so they find the sticker, it's Vidler's, it makes them go to Vidler's, and then they're going to go look for a receipt. And of course, that makes me think of one of our all-time favorite Christmas movies, Serendipity. And part of that is finding a receipt, right? To try to track someone down. From years ago when they had carbon copies, and it gets smudged, much like in this movie. So I have to wonder if the writers are fans of Serendipity also. I always think of those things like, do they love, the classic When Harry Met Sally, did they love Serendipity? Right. So those are things that I kind of think of when I watch it. And then, I just got to say this too, when Uncle Tommy and Morgan are throwing the football in the backyard. Yeah. And he says to her, we worry so much about what we might lose, but not enough about taking a chance and seeing what we might gain. Right. And I was like, oh, that's good writing. That's so good, right? It was really good. Because it's so true. You stress over things instead of taking that leap, taking the chance, So
yeah, and that was interesting because he was their flag football coach or football coach when she was younger.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So he was just
so good,
having a little moment with her.
Right, because her dad had died, and and all that jazz. So, and her mom had moved in with him because that's her mom's brother. And it was just a good all around, just the story. Yeah. Story. Really starts with the story, right? Yeah. So biggest cheer from you, what would you say?
It would have to be when Gabe and Morgan found Mia and she told them her side of why she did it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, oh man.
It was such a great scene also. Yes. Yeah, when they're sitting in Mia's house.
Because she didn't have to keep doing it when Tommy came back from war, but she kept it up,
Because she wanted to, be a little bit a part of his life or kind of stay connected to him, right? Yeah. It was something like that.
And it was interesting because their story ran parallel to Gabe. And,
yes, I had that in my notes. I'm so glad you brought that up. That's one of my cheers. Yes. You are exactly right.
Did you have any more cheers? Or?
Well, I haven't said any yet, but
you said that was one of yours.
Yeah, that was one. Well, no, I had that in my notes, not for cheer, but that their stories ran parallel to one another. Sort of ish. Yeah. One of my biggest cheers is that I love how they had everyone knew that Gabe was in love with Morgan. Yes. And at some point in the movie, Santa tells him, the players tell him, his friends tell him, and he tries to tell her several different times throughout the movie. Right. And he keeps getting interrupted. So and he's shocked, like every time someone else says, dude, it's obvious. Like we can tell. And he's like, what do you mean? What? He can't believe it's so obvious. And it's just, I just thought it was so cute and so well done. Yeah. I adored it. I thought it was cute.
And the other fun part about that is she seems so like clueless about it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else around them knew, but her.
But her. Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah. She
didn't
was
know.
kind of,
Yeah.
but then you find out she kind of did, she really did kind of like him a little bit. Yeah. She was so cute too. I mean, there were just lots of cheers. Her and her relationship with her sister and her family. And, and I like that they didn't have her, there was no like big battle of the family. There was no like anger. It was just a pleasant story, a pleasant family story. And like you said earlier about the traditions of the family, both for holidays and the bills, right? And going to the games and taking the picture and all of that jazz. So, that was good. So, I liked another cheer would be the search. Like we've already talked about the search for the person who helped Tommy's family. Just, they were searching for receipts. They finally found the receipt. Then they had to work together to track down, Mia. So I thought that was really great. I loved the marquee in the town.
Yeah.
It said 5. Yeah. It said 5 gold rings. I thought that was great because, did it have anything else on it? Did it have her other movies? Did it have,
it has, I think it had 2.
Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas, or did it have a couple of her other, maybe Holland's?
I don't remember.
I just thought that was cute.
You had mentioned that.
Yeah.
So
and I think, and I believe in, like we said, we then went and watched Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story. And the marquee in that movie did have like Tyler Hines's An Unexpected Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I think it had Hunter King's, did it have her Santa one? I can't remember now.
I think so.
But I thought that was a cute play that they kind of had the movies that they
That's what I'm saying. You get so
cool.
caught up into the movie, you kind of miss some of the little Easter eggs that they pop out every once in a while, but it was really well done.
Did you have any other cheers?
Yeah, I think my last one would have been when her and Gabe were on a kind of like a date. I think it was during the time when they were searching for Mia. She gets a call from the nurse at the hospital that one of the children is afraid to get, a shot. So she stops what she's doing and she goes to the hospital and kind of talks her through why the other nurse gives the shot. And you can see Gabe looking like, wow, what does this lady not do? What does she not sacrifice sometimes?
Yeah, the way he kind of looks at her.
That was really cool.
And her name was Martha Quinn. And she was a doctor. And so, of course, my mind went to Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. Yeah. Hello, this movie was filled with stuff. My head was like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
So funny. Right?
Oh yeah, lots of cute stuff. I do have to mention. They had they mentioned at the beginning about a family group chat, and they're like, oh, you never answer it, and she's always texting or whatever. And I just thought every family has one, right? We have one with our kids, and some people answer, some people don't. Yeah. We pretty much know who's going to respond first, and I'm sure they get annoyed with our text message. So I just thought that was funny. It's so relatable,
Yeah, it is. It really is. So
all right, any jeers?
Any jeers? No, I did not. Although there was one scene where I thought it might have been a green screen when they were sitting in the bleachers. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Kind of looked like it, but if it was going to be a jeer, that would be it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm not sure if it was or not. I don't know, but I didn't really notice. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
because usually I'm like, oh, green screen. But I mentioned this, and this is just a personal thing with me, the corny, quirky music.
Yes.
Hallmark you don't need it. You just don't need it in these movies. And I understand, like maybe once or twice, a little bit. It was in a few spots. Now, this did also have some good songs in it. You know, you had Dean Martin at the beginning, and I mean, there was some good music in it. You just didn't need the little quirky bits, as I like to call them, of music. That's a personal thing. I know, I'm sure it's fine, obviously, because it's in almost every movie, but that would be my only jeer.
Well, that's not bad, though.
Yeah, that's not bad. That doesn't take away.
All right.
All right.
So do you have a tinsel top moment?
It would definitely be when Gabe was saying everything he loved about Morgan.
Right.
in that moment. I loved that scene on the street. I thought it was great. I thought he delivered it well. I thought her reaction was great, even though it wasn't like, oh my God, I love you too. You know, it wasn't like that. It was more reserved. She had to think about it. She took it in. She wanted to get out so she could think of, you know, get away. I thought that whole scene worked. And I loved that scene. I thought it was great.
That's good.
Because he finally got it out. Right? Like after the whole movie, he finally got it out. So
yeah,
that would be my tinsel top moment.
Well, that's good.
What about you?
Mine would be at the end where they took the family photo on the field.
Yes.
With
yes.
You know, with the old timers.
Players.
But they got they actually got to play a little football with them. And I thought that was a really, really cool scene. So.
Very, very cool scene. I agree. Yeah. Totally cool. So out of 5 ornaments, how many would you hang on the tree?
This one's getting 4 3/4 for me.
Oh, okay. Almost a 5 from you. That's really good. Yes. I'm going to give it a solid 4. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It led us to watch Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story. Literally right after we finished watching it, we're like, we have to go, because we were pleasantly surprised. And, you know, to be totally honest here, we're not Chiefs fans.
No.
I mean, I know Kansas City. I understand the whole Hallmark thing. But personally, you know, we're big football fans. Colts.
Yeah.
Cowboys. You may love or hate us for that, but so we were kind of like, but we did watch it and we really enjoyed that one also, and might have to review that at some point as well with Tyler Hines and Hunter King. Yeah.
So is that a wrap?
That is a wrap.
All right. So thanks for listening again.
And make sure you follow us wherever you get your podcasts and on social media so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, cheers.